tap it in. Just tap it in. Give it a little tappy. Tap, tap, taparoo.
Which is pretty much the norm these days. Joined by Blake, as always, and today we have a new guest on, Devon Pyle, who, I've talked to about golf for a long time, and we thought he would be a great addition to our show. Really good with stats, really good at, and a great golfer himself. So he knows, can look at a different side that we might not always bring to the table. Also, some nice young legs in here who know the social media game, which is really good for us. Devon, what's up?
How's it going, Matt? I just wanted to thank you guys again for this. I mean, as you know, TAP has been my almost appointment viewing every Monday night for the better part of 3.5 years. And yeah, I'm just stoked to work with you guys and see where we can take this. We're gonna have a lot of fun together. And just wanted to thank you again for this. Absolutely.
I mean, it's the best golf show out there. So we're glad that there are people out there that notice it. Blake, your name over there says you need a loan. What are you thinking, bud?
Yeah, so I do need a loan. Devon's not a Boston guy, so you're more of a Southern guy. Get little different differentiation from the accent, right?
Kind of obvious on that one, don't you think? And straight giveaway. But Matt, as you know, I've told you. I mean, just a little bit about me. I went to LSU, and 2 of my best friends from college are from Massachusetts. So I have to hear a lot about Boston sports already, and I'm sure it's only going to get worse.
That might be why you gravitate towards the show, right? You're used to the sounds.
Yeah, the accents that come out too.
So how did you find it? How did you find us originally?
So that actually was during the 2021 U.S. Open. I was just on my Twitter feed, victory lapping John Rahm. And I came across you guys.
Matt, you scumbag. You
that was my fault.
So much money.
I guess the one thing, Matt, as you know, the U.S. Open, the self-proclaimed U.S. Open guy. So unless you put him in California, get rid of those.
We'll talk about this when we get into more about the event last week. I guess we'll start with that. The first thing I got to say is I was kind of clenching my butt cheeks all week long because Blake was giving me shit about not letting him bet Nap. So, I would have took a lot of heat if he had won. So now I'm going to have to go the other way and give it back, right? So Nap, everyone was saying he's going to win. I think a lot of people, and again, I'm not out here throwing shade at people because my bets weren't the best, although I did have someone who finished higher than Nap. I think people cashed that ticket on Friday. I think they spent that money already. They might have to be going back and returning some goods and services that they purchased with their Nap winning tickets. And Blake texted me on Sunday and said, "Don't even bother watching because Nap already won."
It's only because I wasn't going to watch, and I was just thinking the worst things that have happened to us over the last 6 months. So I just figured that was the case.
Well, let me ask you: what do you like more about him? Is it his effortless power or his biceps?
I'm not a Nap guy. I brought him up because I thought of the Mexico narrative. I thought the courses were somewhat similar, longer irons, bombers off the tee, and I thought 90-1 was a great number on him. Ultimately, it was my decision not to pull on it, not you. But it would have been nice if you led me to Nap, and I still think it would have been a good bet. Like, it would have been great to have Nap there. We would have had something to root for on Sunday.
We would have got
our hearts ripped out, but whatever.
Yeah, no,
better than fucking chasing praying for Benny Ann.
No, yeah, I'm joking. He definitely was a good bet. So anyone who bet on him, definitely a good read. At 90-1, you'll take somebody who is a 54-hole leader and the favorite going into the final round any day of the week. So yeah, good bet for that. I'm personally pretty glad he didn't win. But that's the way it goes. And then Pendrith wins. I mean, do you think that's something we should have sniffed out? This should be I would think about making this a segment, like the winner, and then should we have been there?
What did he do? I know he was somewhat there at Corrales, right? Like top 10 maybe?
Devon, do you know that? Was he 16th? Yeah, cue that up. I definitely course fit wise, it makes sense because the bomber narrative, easy course. But we've been on Pendrith a lot. That's the one thing that annoys me, but I don't necessarily think we should have really been there.
He himself said he hasn't been in good form, and he's like that, like beginning of the week. After he shot 63 on Thursday, I think he was like, "Yeah, my shoulder's really bothering me. I haven't had a great season. I'm not in great form."
Yep.
Yeah, you guys are spot on. He was 11th in Punta Cana, and then he got T11 at the Zurich, and I have no idea if he was the one holding his team back or not on that. I did not see much of him.
Me neither. The team was a little bit on the radar though because the Canadians, I think they were trying to, demonstrate that they're worthy of a President's Cup pick. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't feel bad about missing that. The Nap one I would have felt a little bad about because you're right. It was a good number, and I think we got to start thinking about him in these easy courses where you're allowed to rip driver everywhere. Although, man, he got a case of those lefts when he was under pressure, and that seems to be maybe a reoccurring theme with some of those bombers. Devon, as a player, do you think?
I would say I can't relate to playing at obviously the level in which these guys do, but just in the moment, we saw that in Mexico as well. I think the only guy, I know we all had Jaeger, and the only guy really with a chance was Valimaki. And Knapp, I can't recall if he was 2 up or maybe 1 up with 2 or 3 left to play. Like you turn it on Sunday and you think, okay, this one's over. Just as the day goes on, Jake Knapp starts spraying the ball a little bit, letting the field back into it. And I mean, yeah, I think potentially the Sunday scaries, but he's also, like, in fairness, obviously we're not Knapp guys at all, but it is his first time through the ringer at this level. I think we've seen, I wouldn't bet on him to overcome that, but I think we've seen other guys that have had those similar issues and maybe grow out of them.
So Blake, who is he? Do you think is he a Cam Champ type? Like
Knapp?
Like, can you win randomly on these bomber courses that are easy, or who is it?
I have no idea who Knapp is, man. He's just a bomber guy. I have no feel for the guy, really, though. I feel like he's just a bomber guy, but I don't like him. I don't like him.
People were ready to just hand him the fucking trophy. I didn't think they were going to go out there on Sunday. I thought they were just going to give him the trophy when they arrived at the course. But again, no, I'm kidding for the most part. If you guys were on Knapp, good for you. It's definitely a good read. What else from the and then Benny. So Benny, I thought, man, just so many missed opportunities. He finished 3 back of the eventual winner, and he missed 3 putts under 4 feet. And Blake, I know what you're going to say. That comes with the territory with him.
That was just Sunday, right?
That was so 2 on Sunday, and then 1 on Saturday. He missed a 2-footer or a 3-footer.
Yeah. How about the mistakes he made too on Friday? I think it was the 12th hole. He made a fucking double. That was
Friday.
A pathetic double too. So stupid. So dumb.
Friday and Saturday, he makes a double on 12, and then he saved actually a pretty nice bogey on 12 on one of the days too. But he played that hole at 3 over, which again was costly. And
Did you see it? Did you guys see it?
I did. I text Matt right at the time. I said, anytime Benny asks for a ball to clear or cover, you just know you're kind of screwed because you know he's not going to make the smart play as is. He's going to go for it. And he was asking for that thing to cover, and it was right out the club face.
He had to keep it low. Why would he even attempt to do that?
Yeah, I have no idea. It's like he could have easily taken that bogey, moved on, keep it going, and anytime you're racing to 20 under and you put a double on the card, you're out of it to begin with.
Like, he could have done what he did. He had like 7 feet for bogey. He could have easily had 7 feet for par by just laying up to the same spot where he had to drop from.
Absolutely. I agree. That was head scratcher.
He is but he's so fucking talented, man. Like, that's why it's so frustrating because he makes these shots and he's so long and straight off the tee. He makes these shots that just make you like want to go back to him. And that his shot on 15, the par 3, the 220-yard par 3, it almost touched the hole. It bounced right over it, ended up 3 or 4 feet from it. There's been 4 birdies all day on the entire in the entire round at 15. Then he makes a birdie there to kind of cut it relatively close down there towards the end. But that's what's tantalizing about him is that he's capable of so much. And I do think he's rounding into form, but we'll get more into him for the next tournament. But I thought it was, I think it was the right read. It was the right bet. And what do you guys think? Anything else about the Nelson that we wanted to talk about? I forget.
I'd go back to Benny 100 out of 100 times there at 30-1.
I would too.
There's nothing. I mean, we kind of said a random's probably going to win. hopefully it's Benny. I mean, there was no studs in this field, so
Yeah, rest of the card wasn't that good, but again, we're really underexposed for the most part because we didn't want to jam in 2 huge cards, so we're underexposed at
I
the
had
Nelson.
Mitchell who continued to stripe it, and if you think Benny putted bad, just look at Keith Mitchell.
Well, Benny actually gained strokes putting for the week.
Yeah, Mitchell did not. I think he was dead last for the guys that made the cut.
Even in round 4, Benny gained 1.34 on the greens. Like, I'm seeing that right here. I'm like, really?
That's because he makes the 18 footers. He doesn't fucking make the 5-footer.
Right. And
Yeah, I mean, I think it's with those lab putters, and Devon, I know you use one. It's like it's about getting the ball started on the right line, and if you do that, you'll make it. But so it looks like on those short putts, he's just not getting it started on the right line.
no, I don't know if we've ever really seen him in rhythm with the putter. So when the numbers suggest that he is, and then the eye test says he isn't, it's like, what do we do here?
What were his ranks for the week?
So for strokes gained putting for the week, I was just pulling up Keith Mitchell here. But for Benny, for the full event, he was roughly 20th to 25th in putting, 0.79 strokes gained for the whole event.
Yeah, not bad. So again, I would do it in a heartbeat again, but I'm starting to think if Birdie Fest is his thing, if he has to get to 23 under, that's tough for him. I know when he won at Wentworth, that was 21 under, but he won by 6 shots. So, which is crazy. And then Mitchell, Blake. So you're on Mitchell, and then who didn't we have someone else who was like relatively good?
We live bet Scott.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, Matt, Benny was 19th and Keith Mitchell was 60th out of 66.
Yeah, he was terrible.
He's a Bermuda guy. We got to think about that.
He striped the ball too.
He's been striping it for a month. He's never finished better than fucking 25th.
He's not in this. He's not in the Wells, huh?
No. Is he playing in Carolina? No.
No.
Is there anything else that happened during the event? I feel like there was something. Nap is obviously a talking point. Anything else that happened that week that we want to talk about or no?
I didn't watch much over the weekend, so I was at AAU tournaments. So I was shot tracking most of the event all weekend. I caught the last 4 holes. I mean, if you want to talk about Cole's absolutely gagging that.
Oh,
my God. You got to get that chip on the green on 18.
That was so bad.
You just got to get it, even if you have 30 feet. Like, you can't bring bogey in. Pendrith has an eagle putt. He's definitely making a birdie. So that was a mistake. Then he actually made a good chip on the second one, and then missed the 4-footer.
Yeah, that was a pretty good chip to get it there to 4 to 4.5, 5 feet. I knew he wasn't making it. Do you see the press video of him?
Why was he talking about him?
I don't know. I think he hit Scotty at the Masters. Now he's like into watching these golf tournaments. I feel like that's kind of what happened. But yeah, that was really bad.
If he had a Coles bet, I would have fucking shit.
His soul will reside on that greenside rough for the remainder of his life.
Yeah, man, I felt bad for the guy. How old is he?
34.
Oh, he's 34.
Yeah, he's dead.
He's never gonna win again.
It's like Molly on the par 3 at Augusta, right?
Yeah.
His soul went there to die, and now he'll never return. So
good at golf.
Oh, I feel bad for him now. That sucks.
But I mean, that fucking pisses me off. How, like, whether he wins or didn't win, you still would have to make the read that guy's gonna be involved. I tweeted his stat page. It's absolutely fucking horrific. The guy's miscut, withdraw, miscut, like 40. Like, how you that's the PGA Tour, and how you can tell the product is diluted now is because you have guys like this and not that it hasn't happened in the past. I know that happens at times, but like, it just seems more often than not. Like, what a shit betting year. You have either a guy who's 4-1 or a guy you just fucking take a name out of a hat playing like dick all year long and wins.
Yeah, it's bad.
I mean, I don't want to pass off the blame here, but it's not my fault.
Yeah, except our bank accounts can't say the same thing, man.
They're blaming us. Yeah.
Yep.
So that brings us to Live Singapore, which again, I was kind of looking forward to, but it really didn't go well. in terms of the betting at all. But even in the watching, you get an event that's going to start around 9:30 our time, and then it gets a delay for 3 hours, and it starts at 1 o'clock, and then you can't watch one round. There's only 3 rounds, and then so Sergio disappointing. I don't know, just a shit altogether. What do you think, Blake?
What a course, though. I mean, that course is just amazing.
Oh yeah, so good.
It's like incredible. Yeah, on the show last week, I was like, why the fuck is Brooks 16-1 or 14-1? And I guess I should have looked into it more. I'm a Brooks guy. Zoysia Fairways, that's clearly Brooks Koepka. He's won multiple events on Zoysia. And he just ran away with it. He got the putter finally rolling. I think he gained 4 strokes putting or something from the stats that we somewhat have, I guess. I don't know. Who else did we? Oh, I had Wolf. I didn't have much hope going into the final round there, just because Brooks was the leader, and I was like, oh, he's got no chance. His head's going to be all fucked up. And I was like, okay, he's not paired with Brooks, so that's somewhat good. And then immediately bogey, first 3 holes, and like all like 4 to 5 foot putts.
That guy has some fucking problems, huh?
Yeah, mental problems. I still think the talent is going to get him a win here somewhat soon, but yeah, that was tough to watch. And then we had Rahm top 5. I squeaked out a chop top 10, which I don't know how that happened. What the fuck?
The Rahm top 5, I was miffed about. Like, I cannot believe that he played the way he played. There has to be something wrong. I got a couple DMs today asking about Rahm being 15-1 to win the PGA, and if that's like, too good of a number for some of his talent. And part of me says, yeah, it is, but the other part is like, there's something wrong.
Is there?
Did he maybe he had his 3rd kid?
It hasn't happened yet.
I think there's something wrong. You don't?
I think he's somewhat of a good bet at the PGA.
You said I wasn't watching. You said 18. He went in the water.
No, so I was sweating a top 10. All right, and on the live thing, you can watch it on your phone. You have every group. So he gets to the par 5, and he just needs a par to get the top 10. And if he makes a birdie, I think he finished 7th. Wouldn't have a chop. Second shot, hits it into the fucking water. And then he had to chip it. He actually got a decent drop where he didn't have to drop way back. He dropped like near the green, so he chipped it up to 2 feet. And then the app originally said he made bogey, and I was fuming. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. I was fuming. I'm like, I can't believe I fucking lost this shit too. Like, just the way this week's going, I'm gonna lose the top 10. And it was more about like just not losing the top 10 because I knew it was gonna get chopped. It was just an additional amount of money that I was gonna lose. I just wanted to just chop it and
get rid of the bet.
Get rid of the negative. I didn't want any more negative.
Getting a great deal.
The top 10 didn't pay shit after it got chopped 4 ways, but it didn't lose.
Exactly, and that's the one bet like I'm pissed about making because there's what the fuck. I mean, it seemed like a perfect course for him on paper, and now I don't know. That event's fucking blue, man. I'm not something about live. I just cannot grasp it. I can't figure out the betting angle of it. I mean, we hit Neiman and it was close a couple other times, but there's something about it that still feels like there's no rhyme or reason, and it's really annoying.
So Brooks, we should have looked into Brooks. I mean, but the odds were just he's been dog shit all season. So and he's been in Australia he was 28-1. So that's why I asked the question, and I was traveling that day. I was like, why is Brooks 14-1? I'm like, I know he lost in a playoff to Gooch last year, but like he's been terrible.
I think he was one short of the playoff, right?
Or one short. Oh, that was Sergio. Sergio was in the playoff. Yep. Okay, but either way, like, and then I go back and look at it. Zoysia fairways. I guess we should have been on the 16-1. But
one thing that I did notice about Liv, is because it's such a short sample size in their existence, they rely on course history a lot for odds. Like if you look at the last year's leaderboard, those guys are all slashed on the odds board.
Sergio wasn't too bad though.
22.
Weren't you fine with? I bet a 25. I thought that was fair.
Yeah, relatively fair, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. Sergio's not Brooks.
Oh, he's definitely not Brooks. I'll tell you that. But so that leads us into Valhalla here. I mean, Valhalla has Zoysia fairways, right? That's Brooks's thing. He's won Zoysia at St. Jude, Bellerive, the PGA he won. He beat Tiger. Jeddah, he's won twice. That's Zoysia. Singapore, that's Zoysia. There's a few others that he's won, I believe. That's Zoysia. I typically like him on Bermuda, but I mean, he's won a bunch of bent courses as well. I think 5 of his 13 wins were on bent. So if you guys got a Brooks 20, I'd be from last week. I'd be pretty confident about it.
Yeah, Devon, you got something?
So I'm looking here for Brooks odds. I'm pulling up, just find the best number. But I agree with you guys. I think we just completely overlooked that one in a way. And I remember seeing some stat. I don't have it on me, but I believe halfway through the live season, Brooks, it might have been through Jeddah, he hadn't had a round where he didn't break 70. And then he went into the Masters and just didn't have his fastball. But then kind of the same reason in which we took Cam Smith with Masters is just put him on a course he loves and let the rest take care of itself. And I think that's just one of those things that happened here.
Yeah. That's what it looks like. But so Blake, you think he has a good chance to win the PGA?
I didn't bet it. I stared at a 20 all weekend as he was winning. The 20 is no longer there. It's what, 14 now?
Is it?
Yeah.
Best you can find 16-1 at FanDuel, DraftKings, and Bet Rivers right now.
So the 20 was in our hand and we ignored it.
I ignored it. I went down a deep PGA rabbit hole all weekend too.
I did too. I wrote mine, so I was depressed about both tournaments going on. So I wrote my entire PGA Championship preview. Just got all the meat of it, and my picks are all pretty much done too. I don't really like to give them out too early, but there are some people who know. But Brooks is not going to be in my card. I couldn't really add him at the time. I already had won a couple bets on another player, but also I don't think he's winning.
You don't?
I don't.
Why not? Don't give me that shit. You can't win 2 in a row because he's done it multiple times at multiple majors.
Yeah, I know. That's right. I just think, we talked about you said Morikawa was kind of what do you call that? Fool's gold. I don't know if that win in Singapore really means what it might seem like it means.
Didn't he have good stats at Adelaide though too?
He did. No, he's playing good. I think he's going to be around. I think he's going to play well. I think it's a good setup for him, but I just don't think I think it's just variance, and he's not going to win all the ones he contends in. He won the PGA last year, but he wasn't really good at the 2 majors following that. I just think it's hard to win majors. And is he going to win another major already so soon? I don't think so. Devin, what do you think?
So I found it interesting. Obviously, we watched Brooks the week of the Masters. Just each day he was just trading out putters. He didn't know what he was going to have in the bag on Thursday. And I think this week watching Brooks, it was the first time where it's like, okay, this guy is making those 8 to 12 footers that you would expect on a weekend in a major. So I think it's going to come down more so to the putter than it will his tee to green game, because Brooks in a major and coming off of a win. Plus, I just think he's been pretty candid about what the issues were that he was kind of working with and just a bad habit he falls into. And I don't think you can win Singapore without fixing those up a little bit. So I do think it will come down to the putter.
That is a tough golf course, Singapore. I know it was easy that one day after it rained, but that is a tough golf course. Yeah, I think it's going to come down to the putter with him as well. I mean, he's just not a guy that sprays it. Like his misses are like when he misses, it's just like barely off the fairway, So I just don't see a way where he's not like in the top 15.
I agree with that. He'll be in the mix.
He's not. I'm not betting him next week. I passed on the 20.
If you could flush your whole card down the toilet and make a new one starting tomorrow, and he was still 20, would you bet it?
Well, yeah, but I'm stuck on this fucking Hovland 22-1 number.
I wouldn't.
You
wouldn't bet it?
No, I'd rather have Ludwig.
I would too. But
okay.
In this,
what's Ludwig now?
Both, right?
Ludwig is the best available is also 16-1, Bet365 and DraftKings, and then FanDuel is 15.
Okay, so
Oh.
you basically
Season's
same
kind of
number.
horrible.
You'd take Ludwig over him.
I would. I just think I know this is a hot take. What a way for me to start out, right? But all things considered, I think in 3 months, people are going to look at Ludwig as the only guy that can take Scotty on for the next 5 years from week to week. Matt, you've seen my comparison for him a little bit. It's like a baby deer that kind of just trips on himself. It's like he's playing these courses for the first time from the same spots as Scotty does, and then he slaps it around chipping one day and loses by 4. It's like, okay, we can fix that.
Yeah, he's like a young Rory.
I think so too. I mean, just his tee to green game, strokes getting off the tees, just already the best.
But hey, guys, best of luck with Ludwig. I passed on both of them. I bet a couple other losers way down the board.
Yeah,
I'm sure that'll go well.
yeah. I'm gonna say,
with
I'm stuck with a little bit of Vic 25. I mean, do we hope in a perfect world he finishes third this week and gains 7 strokes on approach, and he comes in the next week at a course that really should fit him, why we liked him to begin with, and he's good. Like that's what we hope happens. But I've already pretty much chalked that as a loss. I mean, at this point in time, at this very second, he has 0% chance to win, right?
Unless we see something. I wouldn't say
Yeah.
0, but unless he figured it out.
And he did take the month off. And I know I had an open mind to looking into him a little this week, and I do think that's just a risk. But Victor Hovland, his talent with a month off, I don't think you can rule him out. But 22-1, yeah, I really hate having that right now.
I mean, has anyone ever won a major when their best finish in the season was like fucking 70th? I don't think so.
He had 0 top 10s this year.
0 top 10s. I don't think that's ever happened before. So yeah, again, is what it is. I was able to cash out what I had on DraftKings for a pretty good amount.
Why can't I cash out on DraftKings? What the fuck?
I know. I don't know why you can't and I could, but all right. So Singapore. One question I have. I don't want to spend too much time on it because we got to get things moving. But one question I do have about, and Blake and I had this argument, or not argument, because I'm not in a disagreement. Earlier. What is a better field right now, the Live Field or 65-man PGA Tour signature event without Scotty?
Oh, I'm going to lean the PGA Tour, but damn it, it's closer than I want it to be.
Without Scotty?
Yep.
I would say yes, just because you look at the bottom end of Live. Like, I mean, we all love Marty Keimer, but you still have.
Hey, Marty's playing well, man. He's the last couple weeks. He's been butting it.
I've been blowing you guys up about that one. That's pulling at my childhood heartstrings a little too much.
Wait, but what? Kevin Tway's at the bottom of the field at the PGA this week. Like, what the fuck? Same shit.
No, yeah, that's a great point. And
How is Kevin Tway in this field?
I think if you had a Ryder Cup style tournament between the top 12 and you took Scotty out of it, right now I would bet on the PGA Tour. But
I disagree
really
hard.
close.
I disagree hard. If you take Scotty out of it, I'd be all Live.
You think?
Well, who on the PGA Tour is playing well? Ludwig?
Yeah, with Vic and
Xander.
JT and Spieth playing like absolute dick this year. Like,
I'm just gonna pull up the data golf rankings and kind of just say, hey, we'll see.
Fuck data golf. All right. I'm talking about your eyes, okay?
My eyes, okay.
Bryson. Even when DJ and Brooks sucked this year, they still won.
Yeah, that's a good
Cam
point.
Smith, those top 5. If you take Scotty out, just think those top 5. And you throw Neiman, so top 6.
And Louis.
Oh, yeah, Louis.
Yeah,
That's
Louis.
the 7th guy. So then you have the top 6 without Scotty are Rory, Ludwig, X, Wyndham Clark.
Can't lay.
Who you want to throw in there next?
Can't lay.
He sucks.
I think he's rounding into.
He's rounding. He's starting to round more. I mean, Hovland should be there, but he's not. And you got Homa, Morikawa. I'm taking Liv 100 out of 100 times there without Scotty.
Me just being a sicko, I would take whoever's plus money just because it's going to be that close to me.
Fair.
And because I know at some point I'll be able to get plus money on the other one too. I could just sit back and enjoy it.
Way to sit on the fucking fence there, Devon.
Yeah, you know me. I don't like to get caught in the damn politics.
Hey, if your answer is PJ Tour, that's your answer.
Yeah. Because I think Ludwig's the second best player on the planet. All things considered.
I do too, but I still take Liv in that scenario.
I think that's fair. Especially, I mean, I hate betting against Bryson.
I don't think Ludwig is. I think Rahm is still.
And I think that's fair.
It's fair. I mean, it's a tough one, but I mean, Ludwig got definitely put in the top 5. Bryson, I'm putting Bryson in the top 5 too, though.
Yeah, top 5 or 6. In like that Rahm 15-1. Okay, Rahm, Middle America bent grass, Nicklaus course. Some things, yeah. If you have an empty card, I don't know how you could tell yourself it's a bad bet.
Am I wrong to think about almost a bit of a memorial feel?
I think there's going to be more birdies available at Valhalla.
I agree.
I'm expecting a major winner where it's 6. I could see 20 if it rained. I think
we're going to get there. They lengthened it from last time by 400 yards. I think that's going to prevent it a little bit to get that high.
I feel like golf kind of lengthened itself, though, in the last 10 years.
That's true. That's true. Good point.
Yeah. Well, we'll save that for next week because there's a lot to talk about. I don't want to get too deep. But I think that Liv field against a signature event minus Scotty debate is close. And people are going to give you the back end to Liv and say, again, the Keimers and some of these guys in the field, the Kazumas. But I mean, like, I don't know, man. Put Junichi Kazuma, if you put him head to head against S.H. Kim and they play 10 times head to head, I mean, I don't know who the fuck wins. Do you?
No clue.
So I mean, you can cherry pick the back end of a field anytime you want. It doesn't really mean all that much to me. So I think it's really, really close right now.
Keep me honest though, Devin, because I'm more pro Liv than most people.
I'm pro golf. I mean, it sucks because the guys like my number one money makers all went to Liv. I'm not going to shit on Liv,
Right.
And then the guys that probably I've had a lot of takes age well on who I feel are the 2 best players in the world and on the PGA Tour. I guess, yeah, I had to bring a little bit of Scotty love into here.
Yeah. I'd take Scotty I'd take the PGA if Scotty was on that.
Yeah.
I still think it's close.
I do too.
Because heads up match, even tomorrow, if it's tomorrow, I still think Bryson at his best can compete with Scotty.
So can Brooks, so can Rahm.
Yeah. So get him on a day. Yeah. I mean, and we'll see how it goes with Scotty, man. Then everyone seems invincible at some point, but guess what? Every time the same story happens, whether it takes 6 months, a year, 2 years, there's something's going to happen where this thing goes in ebbs and flows, and he's going to have his valleys, and so we'll see how it goes. All right. Anything? Oh, I guess before we get on to the Quail Hall event, we're going to talk about a couple exemptions today, right?
Yeah. So Gooch and Puig got into the PGA. Right after Gooch had that comment how he wasn't going to try to get into the U.S. Open, which was kind of weird. I mean, GMAC and Kokrak just laid out where they're going to try to qualify from, and Gooch was just like, I'm not trying. Just super weird in my opinion. Why doesn't he just go try? What kind of point are you trying to make? But that was a Twitter battle for last week. But why did they give Gooch the exemption over Louis?
Yeah, I don't get that either. Was Louis in the lawsuit? No, Gooch was though, right?
Gooch definitely was.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what. And I don't even know why they gave it to him over Neiman. I mean, Louis won 2 worldwide events. He won in South Africa, and he won the Alfred Dunhill in the fall. And I was on one of them. I forget which one it was. The Mauritius Open, I think. But yeah, Louis definitely deserves an exemption. But I want to say this: hats off to the PGA of America. I mean, absolutely brilliant move. And this is the first time we've seen someone seemingly on the other side of the fence on the PGA Tour side that stepped up and done something that will bring more eyeballs to the game, that will improve the product, that will get people talking, which is all things golf need. A lot of the PGA Tour people have been kind of burying their head in the sand and kicking and screaming saying I'm not going to allow these guys in. But the fact that PGA America made this decision to do this is a great thing just for the game of golf overall. People are going to be tuned in. Does Gooch make the cut? Is he in contention? I mean, I personally don't care for Gooch. I don't think he's going to play well. I'll be betting head to head against him. I'll be betting to miss the cut. But either way, it's a good thing for golf, whether he contends, whether he isn't good. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. But the fact that we're thinking about it and talking about it means this is a win for the PGA of America and for the PGA Championship.
What if he contends?
Oh my God, it would be amazing.
It'd be great for golf, wouldn't it?
What do you think, Devon?
So I'm with you. I don't think he plays well, but I think it would be so funny to watch him play well because I won't have money on him. I'll probably end up betting against him too. And I think somehow Taylor Gooch became a needle. And if you said that 3.5 years ago, somebody would slap you. But this guy gets people talking. And Blake, you made a great point on your tweet. There are guys that have accomplished way more in the game of golf than Taylor Gooch that are putting themselves out there trying to compete in these qualifiers. And they're way past it. Like Graham McDowell's going.
Fucking Ricky Fowler 2 years ago was going, and he couldn't make it.
Sergio.
Yeah, Sergio goes.
And he
Sergio goes
qualified.
to the Open ones. These guys should be in the Open forever.
Yeah. And I think Gooch is a guy that anybody who looks at it objectively is like, is he deserving of being in a major championship field? Just his talent and his form. Duh, right? But I have no sympathy for a guy that won't put himself out there. I mean, U.S. Open qualifiers, I think an optometrist made it through last year. I saw a tweet about that the other day. So Taylor Gooch doesn't think he's going to go beat an eye doctor? I mean, you got to go do that, man.
And I, again, never been a high level athlete, but as a competitor, just in general, wouldn't you want to say, they think I'm not going to go in, they're not going to give me exemption, fuck them. I'm going to go win this qualifier and go kick everyone on the PGA Tour's ass and fucking win a major.
All the little bucks will tell you, though, it's like that he's trying to make a bigger point with the majors.
But no one gives a fuck about the point you're trying to make. That's the end. That's the
And
end.
no one gives a fuck about Gooch because we used to make fun of Gooch when he was on the PGA Tour. We fucking hated him. Everybody loved to bet him. We're like, why the fuck would we bet Taylor Gooch? The guy fucking can't win shit.
Yeah, I remember.
Never had. And then he gets to live. He wins all these fucking events.
And you know what? I'm going to say this again. I'm going to pat ourselves on the back here because we've stayed true to who we were. We didn't like Gooch on the PGA Tour. He goes to Live. We still don't like Gooch. We love DJ, Bryson, Rahm goes to love him on the PGA Tour. Goes to Live, still love him. I've never changed who I was and who I liked and the golfers I root for and the golfers I thought were great. If your blind allegiance is to an organization who doesn't know who you are or give a fuck about you, and you're changing who you like based on your allegiance to that thing, then you're the one who's flip-flopping. You're the one who's a shill or whatever you want to call it. I like the players I like, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, there'll be no asterisk this year at the PGA, at least.
There you go. You can make as many corny jokes about that one as you want. You can. I'm sure people will not overuse that one 30 seconds into it like they did last.
It already hasn't been overused, huh?
Yeah.
But the other exemption is Tiger Woods, obviously into the U.S. Open. The U.S. Open never gives exemptions. I don't think anybody. You got to have a huge dump in your pants if you're mad about Tiger getting an exemption.
But people are mad.
US Open. How are people mad? Like, it's Tiger fucking Woods. That guy should get an exemption into any major. Any major.
Yeah. I know he should get an exemption. Whenever he wants, wherever he wants, can play wherever in the world he wants. Doesn't matter. I mean,
who's mad?
I think the Live bots.
Oh, well, they're fucking retarded.
Well, apparently I am one, so I don't know. But this is the category of what a Live bot is. If you say anything positive about any Live player or Live event, that's all it is. It's a really low bar.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And then the last exemption is David Puig, or as the Spanish will call him, David Puig. Gets an exemption into the PGA, which is great. Do I understand why he got it over a guy like Louis?
No, it doesn't make any sense. He's close though. He's like 104th in the world, so like he was on the verge.
Yeah,
I think it's top 100. I think Louis like 200 something.
Yeah, so I think they do take that into account.
But why isn't Louis like he's played multiple events, won multiple non-live events? It's just weird.
It is weird, but either way, Louis, I think separate point with Puig that it's good to have a young player, and I think another reason too is they want the best players who represent their respective countries, and I think they wanted some Latin flair in the because people from other countries want to tune in to see the players representing their country in a major championship, right?
Yeah. Did Burmy win an event too?
Won 2.
So
back
why
to back.
isn't he being considered?
I don't know.
So I don't know.
That's a great point.
Puig, I mean, he was shit again in another live event. Every live event he sucks ass, but then he gets into these non-live events and he plays really well.
So I wonder if this will count as a non-live event.
I mean, you want to bet him?
No. But what if he's dead min on DraftKings? Would you plug him in?
I don't have enough money for DraftKings anymore.
Me neither. All right, let's get on to Quail Hollow. Is nothing else?
I think that's it.
Okay.
No.
Everybody knows we're on Bryson for the PGA, so if you don't have that bet in yet, I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, if you didn't bet that out of principle, 6 months ago when he was between 50 and 100 to 1 at a tough setup PGA Championship, then you don't know what the fuck you're doing anyway. So it's too late for you. You're on Devon. You're on Bryson, right, Devon?
I am. I have Bryson, and then I got him at 36 to 1 though. I wanted to see how he came back because there was the reports of him coming out and trying out these new irons, and he found form before then, and I was like, okay, I've seen enough. So I didn't get the same number as you guys. 36 to 1, I'm okay with it. I would actually take it down to 25, maybe even 20. Like
I agree.
I told you guys that if I had an empty card, and I would do anything in my power to have Ludwig and Bryson. They'll figure out the rest.
Couldn't agree more. That's what I said the day after the Masters. I feel like there are 2 guys who can beat Scotty, and those are the 2. So, and I still feel that way. So yeah, we'll see. And all right. By the way, if you guys didn't recognize this yet, I'm wearing all 3 of us today are wearing our Let's Go Golf shirts, which is fantastic. I'm wearing the Music Man. Devon's wearing that black camo, and Blake is wearing the Koi. Blake wore it at his Family Ryder Cup event down in Utah, St. George's recently. But if you buy anything, the code is Matt15. Matt15 is the code to get 15% off your entire order. Really comfortable, awesome shirts. Devon, you had nothing to do with Tab affiliation. You went and just bought it as a consumer. What did you think?
I was a big fan. I messaged you, and I wanted the honest review, and I knew you were going to give it to me. Like, hey, what's your preference in shirt before Let's Go Golf became a thing? And I was trying to find it, and you're like, hey man, just trust me on this one. And you were right. Not to mention, I got one. It's not this one. It's another shirt on their site, but it was $33 or something. I'm like, really? Like these? I'm an Under Armour, almost brand agnostic. But Under Armour Golf has always been my go-to, just like a little bit more breathable. And they don't shrink, which is a big thing. And I would compare these a lot to that. Very comfortable, super breathable. And as long as you don't put it in the dryer, you're going to like it for a long time.
Blake, you just wore yours for the first time. What do you think on the golf course?
Oh, it was great. I enjoyed it. I do have a bone to pick with the Let's Go guys, though. I thought I was getting a black one. Where's my shirt?
Yo, hey, you got to do it. You know what? If you want something to get done, you got to do it fucking publicly.
Well, okay. I fucking gave them great scenic views of us in the shirt. My brother had a great fucking picture. Like, let's go.
No pun intended. I wear them to look sexy, which I'm pulling off quite well, but Devon wears it almost, you play golf every single day. So do you think it's just, playing wise, I think it's
fantastic. 80% of my wardrobe in terms of ones I would like to wear on a course or Under Armour. I'm going to add more Let's Go Golf as I see more new designs come out. And probably the next time we hit a winter, which will be this week, go ahead and get another 1 or 2 because it's summertime. It gets hot. And if you're having those days where you play 27, 36 holes, you're going to wear 2 shirts in one day. So
Yeah, absolutely. And then quick shout out to
Well, until we hit a winner, let's go. Send me some free stuff because I can't afford them right now.
yeah, I can't either. Fuck, never mind. I was gonna say something, but I forget. All right, so we're on to Quail Hollow, Wells Fargo. I don't know, Devin. Do you have my article up for a quick course preview?
Big boy course.
If you can grab it.
I can pull it up.
Yeah, I for some reason I can't get my tabs open. I'm in full screen.
I mean, we're looking at 7,600 yards, right? Par 71.
Yep. Par 71. So yeah, 70. So it's a big boy golf course, which we like to see.
Bermuda
play,
grass.
Yeah, Bermuda can play tough. Can play. Well, I mean, last year it played relatively tough, and then you had Clark won by what, 4 or 5 shots?
Yep.
1 by 4.
Crazy. And then so I think course history is pretty sticky here.
For sure. I mean, you got one guy who's won it 3 times.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And he's playing well. He just dragged his buddy to a win at the Zurich.
Is that what happened? I didn't watch a second of that
Backpacking.
event.
Yeah, Devin, I didn't watch much of it. What did you think?
So I only saw bits and pieces of the Sunday round. I didn't see any of them on Saturday, and then I watched the first 2 days. I don't know what Shane brought to the table. Rory wasn't your typical peak Rory. He's going to go win a major tomorrow or anything crazy, but he was good enough to win that event. I think he's clearly rounding into form. You've been hinting at that for a month, like, hey, it's coming. It's coming. I think it's coming. I don't think he's at his absolute best. But I do think anytime you put him here at Quail Hollow, he can win anytime he tees it up.
Yeah, and it doesn't hurt that all the other players who are really good. Oh, Aberg just withdrew from the Wells Fargo. Let's go.
Oh, let's go. Fuck.
That's great. That is fantastic.
But is it? For next week?
If it's not for any reason, why? But I don't want him to blow his load this week. You know what I mean?
No,
I was gonna bet him.
That is unbelievable.
The reason why, obviously, depending why if it's good or bad, but
knee.
His knee. Wow.
Underdog Golf tweeted Ludwig knee a withdraw. Hopefully that's just an excuse. He doesn't want to play this week, like you said.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm a bit concerned now.
I am too.
Concerned.
Oh boy.
Maybe I can get a number.
Oh, I'm glad I got 28-1 and not the 16. I would like to go ahead and rescind all of that until we get more info about the 16-1 over Brooks.
Jesus. Yeah. All right. All
right. Anything else about the course? I mean, it's a lot of long irons. I mean, I think like 50% of your shots are coming from 175 to 200 plus. All the par 3s are over 200, right? Or close to it.
Yeah, they're long. And one thing I noticed here from just looking at last year, around the green is kind of a net neutral. I don't think it's one where guys are going to be separating around the greens, but like you mentioned, just ball striking.
I think you have to be good out of the sand, though. Aren't they large bunkers? Thought I saw that. I could be lying, though.
I feel like that would make sense just by the guys that have success here. I mean, even though he hasn't won it, Xander, fantastic bunker player. Rory, great bunker player.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe JT when he won the PGA Championship.
Fantastic bunker player.
Yeah.
Jesus, Aberg. Oh my God, Oberg, whatever you want to fucking call him.
You're devastated, huh?
I'm not devastated. I'm just my mind is scrambling. I'm trying to make sense of what's going on here. Is he hurt?
So
He didn't even play last week.
well, you don't know what these guys are doing.
Maybe he was
Yeah.
fucking like DJ.
I'm sure he's doing a lot of that. I'd imagine.
Yeah, there'd be something weird if he wasn't. All right, so let's talk about the rest of the field. Now we got a clear-cut favorite in Rory. You go for the you can go to the odds, Devon, but I think he was 750 prior to that. I'm guessing it gets worse now.
So yeah, the best we have here for Rory is 8-1 at Bet365, Rivers and MGM. I actually this morning I woke up, looked at plus 750, and I just smashed it. I'm gonna have a little free bet boost to hopefully maybe get that to a 9 or 10-1. And now that Ludwig's out, I am so glad I did that.
Yeah, I'm always on team bet early because of things like that. But yeah, Rory's going to be tough here. I mean, Blake, did you consider biting the bullet at that 750 8-1 number?
No, I needed a 10 to 12, but I mean, I've hit Rory at this golf course back when he was 18-1, which is fucking nuts. He was in piss poor form, so he definitely can win. It wasn't a signature event. Although I don't even know what a signature event means these days. Yeah, I mean, he should be the favorite. There's no doubt about it. This is one of his courses. I did actually, you know what? I bet him at 7-1 at the PGA Championship that year. Still don't know how he didn't fucking win that thing or even contend.
Which one was that?
The one
Harding?
JT won.
Oh, we bet him that week.
I bet him that week.
Okay.
I don't think we had the pod then, but no, we definitely didn't.
Yeah, we did.
2017.
Oh, I thought you meant the JT one at
No.
Southern Hills. I was like, you didn't bet him at Southern Hills.
No, the fucking the one here. I bet him 7-1.
Oh,
So I mean, it's not like I haven't done that. Not like I haven't gone that low for him at this golf course, but I'm just gonna pass. I mean, I like a couple other guys. I was thinking about Ludwig and going double, but I don't know.
We've got Xander at 10-1, Ludwig 12, Clark 18.
Well, Ludwig's gone now. You like Rory that much, huh? You really think he's back?
I think he's back enough to win. I mean, shit, without Scotty and Ludwig, yeah, I'll take Rory. I'll walk into a fire for him now. Like now that we're talking hindsight, at the time I took the bet, and I was texting you guys. I was bouncing back and forth just because the idea of not winning on Ludwig does pain me a little.
You think he wants to win though?
Does Rory? I would say an event that he's won 3 times. I think anytime you tee it up, you want to win. I don't think he's the kind of guy that says, "Oh, I'm not going to win 2 weeks in a row." And in fact, Matt, I texted you a little bit earlier. Back in 2014, Rory went from he won 3 straight, including Valhalla. He won the Open, he won the Bridgestone Invitational, and he won the PGA Championship. That in a matter of 3 weeks, or 3 events, 4 weeks. And I think you look at Rory this week, and I'm not a script believer like that, but he's, if you want to count the Zurich, shooting for that second win, that kind of, hey, let's do it again at Valhalla. And on this tour right now, I think he absolutely can win. The number does suck a little, but not without Ludwig.
Yeah, it's much better now without Ludwig, definitely. I was worried about Ludwig blowing his load here, but I think obviously I'm a little concerned potential injury. But yeah,
Hold on a second. Back to Rory here. So if he won this event and then just didn't contend next week, what a fucking loser.
Yeah, I know.
So that's why I asked the question. I mean, he won the Scottish before the Open and then didn't win the Open, obviously. But like, is it really good for him to win this week?
Well, when he did win, it wasn't the week before major, right?
The Scottish, yeah.
No, when he won this event.
No, but I'm saying if he won this week, that wouldn't be good for next week, right?
No, that's a great point, Blake. So I assume the 18-1, you took that buy low in 2021
Yeah.
in bad form. He next week, T49.
At a major?
Yeah, at the PGA Championship. It was Wells Fargo on May 9th, PGA Championship on May 23rd, 2021. He went cut at the Masters, Wells Fargo win, 49th at the PGA in a matter of 3 events.
Yeah, he was in dog shit form when he won this event. Because I remember you didn't bet him, Matt, and I was just like, I'm just betting him because of the number in the course.
Yeah, I remember. I actually have a list of this because I tweeted this July of 23. Since he won at Valhalla, here are Rory's results coming off of a win into a major. 2015 U.S. Open coming off a win. He was 7-1, comes ninth. 2018 Masters off a win was 12-1, comes fifth. 2019 Masters coming off a win was 7-1, finishes 21st. 19 U.S. Open, he's 14-1, finishes ninth. 2021 PGA, he's 10-1, finishes 49th. 2022 U.S. Open, he's 11-1, he finishes fifth. In the 2023 Open Championship, which everyone said he was going to win, 7.5 to 1. I don't know what he finished, but he didn't win because this is the tweet I made prior to that event saying he wasn't going to win.
Who won that event?
2023 Open Championship. That was Brian Harman.
Oh, I thought that was 2022. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking Cam Smith. So I don't know. What do you think on Roy this week?
Me, I mean, I think all those things are reasons why he might win this week and not win next week. But it doesn't. I don't know if that has anything to do with him wanting to win this week. I think in his mind is all that matters, right? Does he think he should win this week? And I think he wants to have as much form as possible. But I do think these guys do pace themselves a little bit before a major, especially him when the major's is the only thing in the world that matters. Like, whereas if it's Ludwig, he doesn't give a fuck. He wants to just go win. He's 24 and he doesn't have a big win yet, and he wants to go get it. Rory, on the other hand, he knows it doesn't matter if he wins this event. So, yeah, I think it's a little bit of a factor, but I don't disagree with him being an overwhelming favorite and thinking he could definitely win. Yeah, I think there's merit to both sides.
You consider him?
No, not at 8. Consider, yes, I did consider him.
What if he was 10?
In order to make a bet for me, 10 or below, an enormous size bet, everything has to be there. And almost everything is there, but I wouldn't put it quite at everything.
Okay. Best of luck, Devon.
He's going to be there, though. I'm
He's definitely going to be there.
He's going to be there. So, I mean, you're paying a tax for a sweat. You're going to get one.
Yeah.
Right. And it's one of those, I don't want to kick myself. I had told you guys that I had this one circled for 3 weeks. If the Zurich ruined it, I will only hate the Zurich that much more. You have the Zurich and the Byron. I mean, they hurt my head. I understand they are what they are. They probably get too much hate, but that doesn't mean I have to like them.
Yeah.
If he wins this week, then he sucks at the PGA. Maybe we'll get a number at the U.S. Open.
That's the hope. That is the hope. Although I don't think he's going to suck. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. All right, next down the board, no Ludwig goes down to Clark at 18-1. He's the defending champion. No player has repeated as champion in this event, which I hope is the case this year because obviously, Blake, as you pointed out to me earlier, Wyndham is playing, it's Scotty on the PGA Tour, and then Wyndham is the clear second in terms of who's playing the best, right?
Yeah, especially in these signature events. I mean, it's pretty clear cut. I mean, he came out of nowhere to finish third at the Heritage. He's obviously won Pebble, if you want to count that. And what was he, second at the T2 at the Players, and then API, what is he, third or something? So
yeah,
he likes signature events. But I hate Clark, so I'm just gonna pass on 18-1. But yeah,
at least now, like if we pass at 30, that would be because we don't like him and it's just like making bad decisions. At least now he's probably at a point to where I can live with passing on him. And he might contend. I'm sure he probably will. This is obviously a good golf course for him, but I'm fine with passing on the 18. And I really,
if you just looked at player A and saw his results, shouldn't he be better than 18-1 though? Shouldn't he be like 12?
Yes.
Probably. I'm looking at it here, Blake. You're spot on. Wyndham, he went second at API, second at the Players, as we all remember, and then third at the Heritage. But if you remember, I think it was maybe 12 or 13 at the Heritage when he was making that run. He started so early in the day. He had that punch shot and he smacks the branch, flies out of bounds, and he's like, oh, like that stops his run. There's a real chance he's the runner up again.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a big jump after that range, so let's get into that 20 to 35 range, and you can list them off, and then we'll just talk about guys we like, so we don't spend a million hours talking about everybody.
Yeah, in the 20s, we got Patrick Cantlay at 20-1, Homa at 22, Fleetwood as high as 28 now at Bet365, and then we already touched on Vic. And then you have Morikawa as low as 22, but as good as 25.
All right, I'll start this off here. I'm betting Tommy Fleetwood. And do I want a better number than 25? Absolutely. Do I deserve a better number than 25? Absolutely. But that's the name of the game. Me and Blake had talked about this the last couple of weeks, and especially this last few days. It does feel like this is an event where he can win. Devon, you told me earlier, Quail Hollow is where losers go to win, and this is a guy who right now it seems like he can't get over the hump, but he's followed up bad starts with good starts a lot, and he really wasn't that great. Obviously at Heritage, which we expect him to be, but looking back on it, it seems like it's more for Tommy. He is great at these events where you need that tee to green precision. It's a tough golf course. You don't have to make a million birdies. Long and classical, right? He has a lot of good major finishes, especially U.S. Open finishes. So I think this is a great spot for him. I actually hit him first round leader last year at 60-1. He shot a 65 on Thursday last year, and he finished the event in a tie for 5th place. So he's bounced back a bunch of times this year. I think this is a good classical layout for him, which he absolutely loves. And we've had first-time winners here many times. You had Rory, Max Homa, Ricky. Yeah, you got the list, Blake. Give it to me.
Rory, Ricky, Homa, Wyndham. You had JT get his first major here, and then all the way back in 2007, you had AK get his first win when it was the Wachovia Championship.
That's a lot of guys, losers turned winners.
Right.
So again, I mean, as a not as big of a Tommy guy as we are, Devin, do you think, like, how dumb is that bet on a scale from like wicked fucking dumb to only a little bit?
So my honest opinion, I know that I'm
just say it's retarded. Just say it's dumb.
Yeah, I fucking hate it.
Okay.
That guy. So I'm gonna go through his stats right here. I've bet on Tommy Fleetwood twice this year. RBC Heritage and API. I'm good. Third time's the charm, I'm sure. If there's a week he's going to win, it's this one. I'm going to look stupid, but I am so okay with not taking him.
Hey, the other events he played this year, he was great. It was just you picked the wrong two events.
Yeah, I chose the wrong ones. It's a personal scar. It's not a vendetta. He's a good guy, good golfer. I mean, hell, you look at his Wells Fargo history. Both times he's played here post-COVID, he doesn't have a single red box off the tee, approach, around the green, or putting. Clearly likes the place, clearly has a winning issue, but so have plenty other winners here.
Bermuda guy, man. Look at him last year. 5th, 5 on approach. I haven't bet it yet. I was waking up thinking we were getting a 40 and we wouldn't look like too big of losers betting at 25, 28.
Yeah, you can get 28. I just had that. I believe that was at Bet365. Yes.
Why isn't it 40? Why isn't it 40?
Because Scotty's at home.
I don't believe that.
You don't really?
Shouldn't he just why isn't he priced with? Why is it at 35? Why isn't he priced with Finau and Cam Young, and why is he lower than Hideki? That doesn't make any sense to me.
I would say,
is the Masters third place like that big of a deal?
Yeah, people are going to hang on to that result. And he didn't hit one meaningful shot all week. It was only meaningful for himself and the local caddy.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. No, all good points, Devon. And I do not begrudge you for feeling the way you feel about that bet. I think it's definitely a reasonable take, and I think most people probably will end up agreeing. But Blake, you were convinced as of Sunday that this guy was winning the event. Can you explain to me why?
I just had a feel. I just got a feel. I just feel like this first time winner thing, and
Do you still feel that way?
I do, but I feel embarrassed to take a fucking 22-1, 25-1. I wasn't expecting it. I just thought it'd be 35-40 and I could just bet it.
I
Now
pulled
I
a
have to actually
25
take
on
it.
DraftKings.
Okay. I got a 28, I guess.
I'm embarrassed too. I'm a little embarrassed. That's all right.
We're just massive losers this year, and we're going in with fucking Tommy Fleetwood as our fucking best player.
There's not a better course to stop being a loser.
That's true.
That's right. You know what? Losers go to win here in the golf course, and hopefully this week the losers that we are will go here to win a bet.
Okay.
We got other guys though.
Yeah, we got other losers. Cam Young. Knock him up.
All right, give us
the
Cam
next
Young.
guy, Cam Young. All right, 35-1, Cam Young. I think this is a perfect golf course for him. If you made a golf course, I think it would be this and API would be the two best golf courses for Cam Young. Do you guys agree? Long Bermuda courses?
Probably. I actually
Augusta,
this is
too.
actually probably Augusta and Valhalla, both bent grass, the one putting surface that he gets hot on at all times, even when the putter sucks.
Yeah. So I'm playing the breakthrough narrative. I don't know with this one.
I'm with you. I bet it too. Relative to the rest of the board, this is the one number I woke up this morning. I was like, that's a fair number. It's the only fair number we got.
I expected it. I was like, just give me 35. I'm blind betting Cam Young. I've been saying it for a few weeks. Driver heavy course, long irons. He's like first 175 to 200, last 24. He wasn't great at Heritage, but I mean, it's not a great course fit for him. So,
I agree.
I mean, every longer course he played, 9th at the Masters. That's obviously long irons and driving distance. Second at Valspar, a lot of long irons there. He has 4 top 10s this year. He's not having a good season. He just hasn't won. And I think he's going to win this year. He's one of the better players on the PGA Tour. I really believe that. I mean, I've been betting Cam Young for a while this season. I didn't bet him much last year, but now I'm just stuck. I'm all in on Cam Young winning at some point this season. So it is what it is. I'm just hoping he's the next Wyndham Clark, Max Homa, finally gets his first win.
And he's still only 26, so we can't label him a loser yet, right? I think this is a good spot for him to break out. Devon, you bet. I think you had a 2-man card, Rory and Cam Young. So why'd you bet Cam Young?
So he obviously, I do think that's a thing. It's like he has the narrative of being a loser, but you look at him and Heritage, I was a little more iffy because I think if you take away his greatest assets to separate from the field, I don't think he's just going to outplay everybody in the other areas of his golf game. I think here you're going to watch him bomb it by a lot of people. He's going to hit a lot of greens at a high. And I just think when it's not a birdie fest and when there's a chance that the winning score will be 12 under par, he can win at any of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I'm hoping. I don't think he can win how Wyndham won last year at -19. I think we need it to be how it usually plays, -12. The score. That's the score this week. I feel like he's got a great chance.
I agree.
And I'm looking at it here. You have Wyndham. He gained 4 on the greens last year. I think that's a fantastic point. Is someone going to do that again? Probably not.
Yeah, and that's kind of what he does. He just pulls shit out of his ass. So, all right, next bet in the similar range, 30-1 is what I got. Blake, you were high on this guy, Justin Thomas.
Yeah, I actually just bet it after you told me Aberg was out. I hadn't pulled the trigger yet, but yeah, 30-1. He's played great here. And I know I said 2 weeks ago that he was a clown golfer and not a serious golfer, but he showed me something at the Heritage. And I can't quit him. I believe in JT's talent. over the years. I mean, he's won what 10 times on the PGA Tour, and I'm just a massive believer in his talent. So at some point, he's going to win this season, I believe. He gained across the board at Heritage. Last year, he sucked all year, but he played this course well. I mean, 4.2 approach last year, and every time he's played it, or his recent finishes at Quail, tee to green numbers have been great. I mean, 7.1 in 2023 tee to green, 2021 5.7 tee to green, 2018 6.2 tee to green, PGA 9.1 tee to green when he won in 2017, and in 2015 he finished 7th, 10.3 tee to green. I feel like 33, 30, fair number on JT in this field. If you can see some putts drop, I think he contends this week.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. And you can get him at 30-1 still on FanDuel, 365, and DraftKings.
Putter got kind of hot a little bit at Heritage. He plays Carolina courses pretty well. Wyndham last year was one of his better finishes. Obviously this. I don't know. I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. I bet it too. I mean, if he's in great form, he's 16-1 this week, and he's not, and that's why he's 30-1. And I agree. Like a lot of people think he's done or he's not going to be good, but I don't think he's like going to be that 2018 or 2019 to 2022 Jordan Spieth where he just completely sucks. Like I don't think he's going to go down that path. I think he is one of the more elite players on tour. I think his ceiling is as high, as anyone not named Scotty or Rory or Rahm or Ludwig. But I think, I think this is a good bounce back spot for him. The field is not that fucking good. Like he doesn't have to be vintage JT to go win this event without Scotty in it.
The two best players are not playing.
The two best players, the field is not that good. JT can't go with his B. If he somehow scrapes together his B+ game and win at a course that he's won a major at, that he's have great success at in the past, right?
Yeah. I'm in.
Not to mention next week is his Super Bowl, a PGA in his hometown, and he is bringing everything to be ready for that.
Love him next week.
Like you said, with Heritage, next week being up there for him. I mean, this falls right in the middle. Can he win? Hell yeah, he's won here before.
Yeah, he's been grinding. I do think he'll turn it around. All right. So anything from 30 or below that we want to talk about? Let's just get into who we're actually betting from this point on.
Those are the only bets I made.
We got Benny now at 45-1.
All right. I bet him at 55-1 this morning. I don't care what anybody has to say. I bet a couple losers already. I'm going to bet Benny at 55-1. I thought it was a great number when I woke up, considering the rest of the board. Did I expect better earlier than that? Yes. But after watching the whole board, seeing him as like the 40th price golfer, I thought it was a good price on him at 55 down to 45-40. I thought it might head that way. But you know what? I don't give a fuck. I'll crawl over broken glass to bet on anywhere. I don't care. I'm in now. I'm in for life, I think. I'm just so enthralled with his talent. I love his long iron game here is perfect. He's third in 175-200 behind only who was it? Behind only Young, who we have, and Batia actually. But he's third in 175-200. He's 12th in 200 plus. Tee to green's been incredible this year. He has 3 top 10s this season. He's been good in the biggest events, right? He was 16th in the Masters, his best ever finish at a major. He was 16th at Genesis, which is, a little bit of a comp here. He was 8th at API. So in the best fields, he's been bringing his stuff. And now we're talking about a course where you do not have to get to 2300 like he did last week. He can miss a 4-footer or a 5-footer and be able to recover from that if the winning score is 14 under. Talk about breakthrough winners. Talk about players who skill set doesn't have to be on the greens to win here, and you can win this game from ball striking, tee to green. So I'm going back to it. A lot of people get frustrated when one of your bets comes close but misses putts and loses. But overall, how can you see him finish 4th last week in the way he played and then say, oh, I'm not betting him because of that? That's just so emotional and not a valid, logical reason to not bet somebody. So for me, that's why I'm going back to him. He's playing well enough, and I'm going to be there when he wins. God damn it, I'm going to be there.
He's one of the best drivers in the game right now. Fucking pumps it.
Yeah, he pumps it good.
Are you worried about his course history? Because it's, I'd say, bad to really bad.
He was top 20 at the PGA here in
He was
2017.
28th.
28th
That's
is top
the
20.
top 60 he's ever had, or those 2017s.
Miscut, withdraw, 63, 28, miscut.
Yeah, I mean, am I worried about that? Sure, but I think for one, Asians doesn't really matter that much about the course history. It's
Okay.
right. That's one. Two, I feel like was he a good player after he won Wentworth in the next 3 years? Yes, but I mean, he lost his tour card in 2019 and he didn't get it back till 2022 or something like that, right? So he was playing dog shit golf for the vast majority of the times he's played this course. This year, I think is his best season so far overall as a whole. The PGA Tour's week overall as a whole. So I do think that I don't know why. To me, this is more course fit over course history.
He finished 8th at the Wells Fargo in 2017. Was that Potomac? Same area, or Eagle Point.
So
Worried about the Bermuda? Is he a good Bermuda putter?
Well, we had him at Century, right? No, Sony.
So I have, Matt, I have your model up here. So Benny ranks 7th in the model overall. But in Bermuda putting last 24 rounds, he is 11th in the field.
Wow. Let's go, baby. Does he rank high? What else is he scoring well in?
So in fairways, his approach from the fairway, 175 to 200, he is 8th in this field. Strokes gained off the tee in his last 24 rounds, he is 11th, and I think the upside's even higher. He could lap the field off the tee along with like a handful of guys. I mean, like you guys said, he pumps it. I think he has as much high upside driving the ball as anybody in this field this week, maybe not named Rory.
I think he's getting just better and more confident every week.
Does he have a winning problem?
Of course he does.
You really believe in him?
So does Tommy Fleetwood, and so does Cameron Young, and so does Justin Thomas right now too. So let's fucking go.
I don't know if I'm joining you on Benny. I just don't know if I can do it.
No, it's fine. That's fine. So I got my 4
Would you bet a 45?
I would, yeah.
What would you bet? Would you bet a 40? Why does his number always suck?
Because people like me.
You guys just love those chubby cheeks.
He's just so cute. I want to pinch his cheeks.
Those big hips.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Don't get me going.
Okay, a couple other guys I was looking at. What about Finau? No? 40?
I think that's hard to hate.
He's playing well.
He's a better as much as I just raved about Benny. He's a better player than Benny.
And
yeah, clearly.
In a world that Zhao is 40, Spieth is 40, and Finau is 40, I know which one I'm taking if I have to take one of the three.
Finau. I mean, he's striping. This is the thing with Finau, right? He's striping the shit out of it. Is he contending at all? I know he had a second or a third.
Yeah, remember you got on him live and he missed a 2-footer that would have put him in the playoff that no one ever talked about.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. He has multiple top 10s this year, and they're actually at courses where he had a T6 at Farmers and he was almost a net neutral off the tee. I assume he was just spraying it because it has to be really hard to lose strokes off the tee at Farmers with his length. And he off the tee the last three, I mean, he's fantastic. Heritage, not as much, but that doesn't set up for him as much. Had a T2 in Houston. Yeah, I think he has a winning problem. I think he fits.
He's not a Bermuda guy.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
He's not a Bermuda guy. No, he isn't. Although, I mean, look at he's played well at similar courses that Homa's played well at.
Yeah, Genesis lost to Homa.
So I don't hate it at all. It's a talent play, ball striking play. I just don't know. Like, I just think for him to win the event, so many things have to go right.
So I was looking at him Obviously, I was looking at Benny because your love for him. And the other guy is Akshay.
Yeah.
So he's also a North Carolina guy, right?
Yes. Well, Finau's last place in the model in Bermuda putting last 24. Last.
Yeah. That's why I ultimately crossed him off, and I'm not going to go with him because he pretty much wins just on bent courses.
Yeah, or past Palom.
Or past Palom in Mexico, where he's the best player by far. Okay, so Akshay, you're the Akshay guy. 50-1. He's playing amazing golf. Shouldn't this golf course set up really well for him?
Yeah, it absolutely should. Yeah, I like it. I still question, and I'm the biggest Akshay guy out there, I still question whether an elevated event right now, I know it's a little bit weaker, at 40 or 45-1 is just too much too soon for a 22-year-old.
Didn't his kind of like his interview? Wasn't that a positive interview that he said where like he wants bigger and better things? I felt like more confident about him going forward after that interview.
Absolutely. I for some reason it would take 65 for me to bet him, I feel like.
Okay.
Devon, how do you feel about him as a neutral observer of not the Akshay guy?
So I would say, well, you kind of have me growing on him because I went down and I actually watched. I texted you a little bit about it. I watched him up close in Houston, and I was with him on his Friday round and watching him. He was scrambling, and I mean, he's clearly tough. I mean, he's a few years younger than I am, and his mental toughness out there is just admirable. I don't think he's like a Ludwig level robot, but some of the stuff he was responding from, and to have a guy hawk you down like that and respond after getting a nice little 10-minute massage, I do think he's there mentally to win an event like this just as an observer up close. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you if you think he can't win this that, oh yeah, Matt, I think you're wrong on this one, because you're the Akshay guy on this.
Yeah, I'm not saying I think he can't win. I just think 45-1 at this event is not enough to get me to pull the trigger.
I think that's a very fair. He is number one in approach in your model right here. In the fairways, he's top 15. He's a net neutral in his last 24 on Bermuda putting. He's 44 in this field. So, which for him, is that a good thing?
I think neutral is fine. I don't know. What do you think, Blake? Now you get me worried about this. I can't fucking miss this.
I don't.
Is he going to win at Quail Hall?
I don't think he's gonna win.
I don't think so either.
Seems too big. I think he needs another win, like at a smaller one, and then we get going.
And maybe not just a win in a small one, but get a taste of being in the mix at a big one.
Yeah, exactly.
He's never had a taste of going up against Rory or right, not at all.
No, he just got the wrath of Denny McCarthy breathing down his neck. and Patrick Rogers at the fucking Barracuda when we hit him.
Yes.
But yeah, I fall back on you on Akshay. You tell me to bet him, I'll bet him. If not, I won't.
That was when P-Rod found the divot, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
On the last hole.
Yeah, but it shouldn't even affect them that way. He like fatted it by like 30 yards. He was looking for a reason to lose, and that gave him it.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
I got one more guy. Don't laugh here either. I looked into this guy. What about Ricky? Come on, don't laugh. He's got amazing history here. You see it?
No.
You just want to laugh at me?
Yes.
Fourth, 5th, 4th, 14th last year. Starting to come in with a little bit of form. Come on, 18th at Heritage, gained on approach. 30th at the Masters. Starting to peak.
Starting to peak?
Add it to the card of losers.
What is he, 180-1?
The best line you can get on Ricky is 66.
Ugh.
And that's a consensus 50. That's the only one. That's an outlier. That would be on BetMGM.
Is BetMGM sharp?
I've never used them myself.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
He's as low as 50 to 1 in some places.
Just look into him, okay? He's starting to show a little bit.
Wow. Didn't I text you the other day, Ricky, and you told me to fuck my ass or something? Just going through names.
Did I?
I think you did.
He's got great history. You see it?
Yeah, but he's a great history in a lot of places, but he sucks ass now.
Okay.
Right?
Do you want me to read off that history?
No, I just did. It's fine.
Yeah, he is. You're right. His approach numbers are coming back.
They are. I wasn't making it up.
Wow. He's getting better. Yeah. Yeah.
Probably can't win. Definitely can't win, actually. So
First round leader, maybe, if you're into that stuff.
I'd be into that.
Yeah, I think it's a good call.
Can't afford it though.
If he was 100 to 1, I'd feel a little better about it.
I think I would have bet the 100.
Is he going
Blake,
off in the bowl?
Yeah, that's a great point, though. I really think that's a good case that people are kind of missing here. I do think he's kind of showing it. Yeah, you're right.
All right, so I haven't bet Tommy yet. I got to pull the trigger, or should I continue to wait throughout the week?
Ludwig withdrew, so I don't know how much better it's going to get.
You think that affects the entire board?
Yeah, I think so. I think he might slip back down to 25. JT just moved to 25 on DraftKings.
Yep. That 28's gone on Tommy. On Bet 365.
This is the disgusting card, but we're gonna win. I feel it.
So sometimes the worst cards produce the winners.
I hope.
I mean, do I feel good about losing a bunch and now coming into the week with my card being Cam Young, Tommy Fleetwood, Justin Thomas, and Benny On? No, I don't. But here we are. So maybe Devon, I think, was on the right. Just bet Rory, the guy who's not an absolute complete loser, and then see how that goes.
At this golf course.
And I still have my own loser.
You have one loser at least.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else to add, anybody?
No.
These odds actually just shifted a ton after the Ludwig. Do you want me to go ahead and run through our guys? Yeah. So, the favorite Rory is down to plus 650. Xander's down to 9 to 1. But then Tommy is as low as 22 and high as 25. JT, you can still find a 28 on MGM or 365. Cam Young is down to 22 to 1 on DraftKings, or that's Bet 365 here, but there's still a 33 hanging out there on him at Bet Rivers. And for Benny On, it's 40s across the board except for a 35 to 1 down at DraftKings.
Is Ricky 100 yet?
All right.
Ricky.
Yeah, he's probably
No.
he's got to be 100 by now, right?
He got that 66 to 1, and then nothing else even has a 6 next to it. But you can go get 66 at.
Don't bet that.
MGM. Yeah, I wouldn't touch that 10-foot pole.
All right, let's just get a Cam Young winner, huh? Everybody wins.
Yeah. That would be beautiful. Cam Young winner. That's the only one everybody has. So yeah, sure, let's go Cam Young. He definitely. I mean, I feel good about Cam Young.
I feel great about Cam Young.
All right, well, let's get a winner. All right.
I feel great about all of them, to be honest with you, even though they're losers. I feel great.
Well, I feel like usually after I do these shows, I feel a little bit better, but I feel like now I feel worse about everything.
No.
Nah, you got to go with your gut instinct.
I think that's a great point, Blake. I mean, we call these guys losers because they put themselves in the big moments at the end and don't win. They're not losers because they're missing cuts every week.
Yeah, the same narrative was about Tony Finau, and then he fucking won.
Yeah, Finau was. Yeah, I mean, so I do feel good about the players. You know what? At end of the day, we joke about losing all this other stuff, and at the end of this, I really want to end by saying I am confident in these picks. Not that I know they're going to win or not, but I do. I'm picking these because I do like these guys. And you know what? And my philosophy is if you get these guys in the mix enough times, eventually variance will go towards their way and they'll be able to pull it out. So I'm picking the guys who I think, based on course fit, based on skill level, based on profile, can do good, can play well this week. And those are the guys who I think they are.
Boom. Let's go. Let's get a winner.
All right, let's do it. Thanks, boys.
Just tap it in. Just tap it in. Give it a little tappy. Tap, tap, tap-a-roo.